Wearing gloves, test fit the new sink in the cutout and check if the waste pipes will line up. If they don't, you will need to alter the pipework and you may need to obtain some additional pipes and fittings.
When you're satisfied that the sink fits, you can go ahead and install it into the worktop. The sink manufacturer will normally provide a sealing strip that needs to be installed between the worktop and the edge of the sink. Make sure that this seal is in place to prevent water running between the sink and the worktop. If no seal is provided, you can use silicone sealant or a non-setting compound such as Plumber's Mate. If you use silicone sealant, take care not to use too much because it's more difficult to clean off any surplus. Once the sink is in position, the next stage is to tighten the sink retaining clips. As with the sink removal process, it's usually easier to lie on your back so that you can see the clips as you work. Don't forget to wear the eye protection.
Now we can connect the tap to the hot and cold water supply. As stated earlier, we're going to use the flexible hoses.
Some mixer taps have a dual flow design where the hot and cold water passes through the tap in separate tubes and mixes at the outlet of the tap. The other design is where the hot and cold water mix in the body of the tap. Where this is the case, water regulations or bylaws in your area may require a non-return valve or single check valve to be fitted on both the hot and the cold pipes that are connected to the mixer tap. This applies where the hot and cold water pressures are different.
B&Q in-store advisors can assist you with selecting the fittings that you need. It often helps if you can take in a photograph of your existing under-sink plumbing arrangement.
Once the water pipework is connected, it's best to turn on the water supply and test for leaks before the waste pipework is reinstalled. It's easier to fix any leaks while there's more room to work. Before turning the water back on, check that all the joints are tight. Start with the cold and only open the stopcock or isolation valve a little way to start with, and then check for leaks. If all is okay, open up the valves and check for a leak again. If there is a leak, make a note of where it is and then turn the water off. If a compression joint is leaking, you might need to undo the joint and wrap some PTFE around the olive. Don't be tempted to over tighten the joint because this will compress the olive too much and the leak will get worse. If the pipework is leaking, then you may need to replace it. It might be time to call in a plumber. However, the likelihood is that you won't have any leaks you can't fix yourself. Once you're happy that there are no leaks, you can start to refit the waste pipework.
Before you refit the pipework, make sure that all the seals are in good condition and are correctly positioned. If in doubt, obtain new seals. It's also worthwhile spending a few minutes cleaning out the U-bend and cleaning any gunge from the waste fitting threads. The waste pipework can now be refitted and checked for leaks. To check for leaks, fill both bowls to overflow level and then release the water. This will put the waste pipework under maximum working conditions.
The tap will probably gurgle a bit as you fill the bowls for the first time because air bubbles would be released from the supply pipework. Turn each side of the tap on slowly to avoid getting splashed.
If you have a leak on the waste pipework, undo each connection and check that the seal is not damaged or out of place before you tighten the joint further. Take care not to over tighten plastic threads because you could easily strip the thread. Well, doesn't that look smart? For more ideas and know-how, visit DIY.com.